How can anyone say no to these gorgeous leaves? Let's talk about Syngonium. What's up, fellow plant enthusiasts? My name is Dylan and this is Bane's Botanicals. Today we're talking about Syngonium. I've been looking forward to this video for a while. I love Syngonium. I'm surprised I don't have more Syngonium just because they're really cool plants. They're very easy to take care of, and the leaf shape is unique on all species of Syngonium. They're all very uniquely shaped. Now, before we get into each individual species, let's go ahead and do this. Here is the taxonomy information for Syngonium. And as you see, we are in the family Araceae. So this is an aroid. And every time I list off the aroids, I always forget about Syngonium. I don't know why. But this would produce, in theory, I'm trying to remember what a Syngonium flower looks like. But it should produce a spadix, which is the little corn cob. Hi, Athena. With the little spathe over the top. Hang on, she can't decide what she wants to do. Okay, she's just going to sit in the chair. She made me lose track. So yeah, it is in Araceae. Most aroids are pretty easy to take care of, and Syngonium is no exception. In this pot, I have 3 different varieties of Syngonium podophyllum. Now, Syngonium podophyllum is the one you'll see the most often. It's the one that has the most variety in color. There's pink ones and brown ones and white ones and yellow ones and green ones. There's just so many different kinds and so many different variegation patterns. So in this pot, we see I have, especially right here, this is a leaf of the Syngonium albo that has like that splotch of white variegation. I actually got that from a friend that started out as a cutting that had maybe 4 leaves on it. I let it get to about 6 or 7 leaves, and then I water propagated it, cut it up, put it in water, and kind of made a fuller plant. Oh, there it is. I had to find the stem that I started with. There it is. So not all the leaves have like amazing variegation on them. It's going to prefer a little bit higher light just because the variegation on the albo tends to revert a little bit, but it does still have some nice looking leaves on it. Next to that, I have a Syngonium called Three Kings that has kind of that light green, kind of dark green center, but the variegation on it is still pretty random looking, like all the patterns on the leaves are different. I really like that. Next to that one, I have the, where's it at? I have the tricolor that has kind of white, pink, and green on the leaves. The tricolor out of this whole pot is not doing the best. I put all these together because I got sick of taking care of 3 different pots, and I thought they'd look good as an arrangement, and they do. I mean, it's a good looking arrangement in my opinion, especially kind of in the white pot like this. But they are starting to kind of compete with each other a little bit. And the tricolor, oh, there's a beautiful tricolor leaf right there. Just how it has kind of that pink and the white and the green. The tricolor just isn't going to photosynthesize as well as the Three Kings will, which is mostly green. So that's why in this pot you notice the Three Kings is actually the tallest. Like it's the one that's doing the best because it has the ability to photosynthesize the best. So in retrospect, well, not retrospect, I may end up splitting these up at some point. So as far as other species go of Syngonium, there are several, but 3 of the ones you'll see the most. There is one called Syngonium winlandii, and it is a dark green velvety leaf that has a white center right in the middle. Gorgeous Syngonium. I struggled with it a little bit. I think it needs a little bit more moisture than the other Syngoniums. But then there is one called the red arrow Syngonium. That is, what is the species called? I have it pulled up because it's kind of hard to say. It is Syngonium erythrophyllum. Erythrophyllum. See, I never would have remembered that. I can remember Schismatoglottis and Alternanthera, but I can't remember I already forgot it. Anyway, it's the red arrow Syngonium. It's got a dark green top with red underneath the leaf. Really cool looking plant. They're pretty easy to take care of. I had one, but it was just kind of a cutting and it was getting kind of leggy. I could have just water propagated it, but I don't know. We were getting ready to move and I got rid of it. If I came across it again, I might buy it. And then the last one we have here is probably the most different of the Syngoniums that I know of. This is Syngonium macrophyllum. You might also hear it called Syngonium ice frost. And it kind of gets that name because the new growth kind of has a frosty green on top. But look at those leaves. I mean, that leaf shape is really more along the lines of maybe alocasia or certain, like maybe monstera without the fenestrations or some philodendrons. But it's a really cool leaf shape for a Syngonium, which is typically triangular. And this one has been growing up this pole since I got it, probably August or September of last year. And I've pruned it a little bit. I pruned the top off of it because I think it got a little sunburned. And when I did that, it just started growing more. Like it's still doing really well. I don't really know what I want to do with it. It's doing fine, I guess. It's a little loose in the pot, but I like it a lot. But do I love it? That's what I ask myself sometimes when I'm thinking about plants. I'm like, do I love it? I mean, I do really like Syngonium, and this is a very unique Syngonium that you don't see that much. But yeah, I don't know. I've kept it this long. I'll probably just continue to keep it. But let's get into the care. It's already been 9 minutes, and I haven't even talked about that yet. As far as light goes, they can do lower light. They prefer probably more along the lines of medium light or bright indirect light. No direct sun. That's not what these are about. They don't need direct sun. The ones that are more variegated are going to need a little bit more light probably. But like this, the macrophyllum I have here, it's a good candidate for like medium light just because it doesn't have variegation on it. After the new growth comes in, they turn to this nice dark green, which will photosynthesize very well. As far as water goes, they prefer to be a little more evenly moist. Like, sorry, Christian. They don't like to dry out. They can dry out a little bit, but I'm trying to think of our water scale where I would put these. They're not really, they don't want to be kept as wet as ferns, but they don't want to dry out as much as maybe a tropical would. So I would maybe water this as much as you water like, I don't know, maybe a little bit less than your Maranta. Like Marantas you have to water pretty frequently just to keep them from getting brown edges. So somewhere between a Maranta and a tropical is where Syngoniums fall as far as watering goes. But of course, you know, some of these are actually semi-aquatic. They can be water propagated very easily, so that's why they don't mind that wet soil a little bit more, just because they come from areas that they can be a little more on the wet side. Mine right now, I've got this one in a terracotta pot. This one's in a ceramic pot. I probably should have this one in a ceramic pot too, but this one's been doing pretty well. So it's been retaining enough water that I don't have to water it too often. The soil, it's just a regular houseplant soil. Humidity, they do like some humidity. If you can spare some humidity through a humidifier or the pebble tray method, they're not going to say no to that for sure. But they don't mind kind of dry conditions either as far as the humidity goes. I fertilize twice a month during the growing season and then not at all during the dormant season, late fall, winter, early spring. And like I said, these are just really easy plants to take care of. And there's just a color, as far as the podophyllum, Syngonium podophyllum goes, there's a color for everybody. It's something that you could easily start collecting, which is maybe why I haven't gotten more into it, because I'm a collector at heart. Like if I started, I would just keep going and going until I had them all, and that would be very difficult to do. But yeah, I think that's all I have about Syngonium. Let me know if you guys have any other species of Syngonium that I didn't cover, like actual species, not just like different varieties, because there's so many different varieties. But let me know what your experience has been. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys like Syngoniums, or I hope you have one, because they're really cool plants. Thank you so much for your continued support and everything. Thank you for interacting with me and kind of sharing this journey with me. It means so much to me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Until the next video, I will see you guys very soon. Thank you.